Steve, are you still as passionate about speedcar racing as you ever were?
Yeah, I think so. Probably on a different, on a slightly different level though. But I've always loved the cars, always been around them ever since I was a kid. So the passion's still there for sure.
They've come a long way in the 10 years that you've been away from them as a driver. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I do. The basics of the car are the same. Everything's probably been refined a little bit more. Shock absorber technology in particular has come ahead in leaps and bounds. And it doesn't stop, it's constantly moving and progressing, so that's part of the challenge, to stay on top or ahead if you can.
We were just talking before that it's ironic, is it fitting, is it whatever, that it's going to be 10 years in 2016 when the Aussie title is hopefully at Parramatta, that your accident happened. Does it feel like that long ago?
No, not really. Something I really don't think about. If it's 10 years next year, that's just the way the cards have been dealt. But no, 10 years sounds like a long time, and it certainly doesn't feel like it was 10 years ago that I was racing and had my accident.
Do you miss it, that part of it?
The racing?
Yeah.
I would say yes, but it's not a constant thing that I miss. I have my moments at the track where I think, yeah, it'd be great to be out there tonight, but I also have moments when I think I don't want to be out there. So, and if it was a driving thing that I really felt that I had to do, well, I would be racing.
Yeah.
It was. I've had this discussion with my wife, and she said, if you feel that you have to race, go and race. The risk is that I can't get another bump on the head, so I decided it wasn't worth that risk. I've got a young family, and I was just fortunate that I did win the Australian title the previous year, because that was the big thing for me, to win that race. I feel like I achieved all the goals that I'd set myself, so that made the decision pretty easy, really.
Why Zach Dorm?
Why? I like giving young guys an opportunity, and the young guys are certainly hungry. They want to win. He runs the Eagle Toyota combination in the States, so he's familiar with that, because it's very hard to come to a track that you haven't raced at before with a different team and compete against the guys that race there week in, week out. Like, Nathan Smee, Adam Clark, they're hard enough to beat at any track. If you want to call it their home track, they're even tougher. So for an outsider to come in and beat those guys, it's tough. But in familiar equipment, I think Zach can put it up to those guys, and hopefully he'll be competitive.
Yeah. What are your plans as a car owner in Speedcars? How long will you do what you're doing here?
I haven't set a time frame. As long as I'm still enjoying it, as long as I can still afford to do it and not not have to sacrifice anything with my family. I've based a business around it now, so it's important to still be racing, going to the track. I don't want to race week in, week out. It takes a lot of time out of your life to do that. But I would certainly like to pick and choose the bigger races and be at all the major Speedcar events.
Yeah. What is it about these cars that captured your attention and your life for such a long period of time? Because your dad was a sedan man.
Yeah, he was primarily sedans, but he did race the Speedcars as well. They were always an exciting division for me to watch. The speed of the car, the fact that they're often not on four wheels. They race on 3, 2, sometimes 1. It's close wheel to wheel action, and they're just an exciting car to watch.
Your record at Parramatta at Valvoline Raceway is unsurpassed, and something you must look back on with such pride.
Yeah, and so when you say they haven't raced there for 10 years, it's pretty cool to still have that record. And I often wonder, if I was still racing, what would it be at now?
So you do think about it?
Sometimes.
See what I'm trying to do here?
Yeah. No, I remember when I first started thinking how cool it would be to win a feature. and then actually my first feature was down at Canberra, and then I thought, well, how cool would it be to win one at Parramatta? So to get up to 39, it's certainly something I'm proud of.
Yeah, without a doubt. Was there anything left on the shelf that you didn't get? Any unfinished business? Any regrets?
No. Like I said, the Australian title was a big one for me. I'd probably swap all those 39 Parramatta wins for that one title win. I was fortunate enough to do some racing in America, and really no unfinished business for me.
Looking back on it, the Graham name has a number of attributes attached to it from the outside world. Meticulous preparation, presentation, determination, and ultimately race results. You must be very proud of the legacy that you and your dad have in this sport.
Yeah, that's true. And, I think I was brought up, to be focused and serious and work hard. And, no one gives you a race win. Every win you've got to fight for. I think we put a lot into the sport, my dad in particular. And when he went to America with his driving school business, it forced me to learn more about the cars real quick because I didn't have him there. So I was my own crew chief. I was the driver. I was working on the car during the week. And looking back, that was probably one of the best things that could have happened to me, really.
Yeah. You look at some of the guys still getting around, Brownie and Nathan and Clarkey and all those sort of guys, that Troy Jenkins, even DJ occasionally. You came through an era at Newcastle and Parramatta in particular in the late 90s that was just phenomenal.
It was. Craig Brady's another one that comes to mind. Those guys, week in, week out, they were tough. And like I said before, they didn't hand over a race win. It was bloody hard. You had to work for it. And it was certainly a great era, and I think we're building up to another one now. Car counts are looking good. We've got some young talent coming through, and it's all positive as far as I'm concerned for the Speedcar division.
We always end it inside the helmet by saying, I race because, and get that person to finish the sentence. In this case, it would be, I raced because. How would you finish that sentence?
I raced because I love the Speedway and I love the division.